Hey guys, this is Naveen here. Welcome back to Naveen Automation Lab. So back to our Gatling series. Today I'm going to show you something very interesting and very amazing thing in Gatling. We are going to talk about that how to generate performance script through Gatling. There is a recorder which is provided by Gatling. You can you can use that particular recorder and you can record any particular scenario on your application, and then it will generate a script and you can rerun the script once again. So let's see how to do that. So in the last video, if you have already seen, we have already downloaded Gatling here, and this is the folder. Same thing in your Windows laptop also. I have already shown last time that this is all the user files and all the binary files are available. And here you will get one file that is called recorder.bat and recorder.sh. If you're using Unix and Mac machine, you have to execute recorder.sh. If you're using a Windows machine, you have to use recorder.bat file over here. This is the batch file. So I'm going to use Mac, and everything will remain same, guys. Either you're using Windows or Mac. So what I'm going to do that I have to start this particular recorder. So I have to launch this particular recorder.sh file in my Mac. So I have to go to this particular directory. So it's already available in my documents. I'll go to documents and I'll reach over here in this bin directory over here. So I'm already in documents. I'll go to CD Gatling. And then if you see that we have this bin directory, so I'll go to this bin directory, change directory bin, and check what we have. So in bin directory, we have this recorder.sh file. So if you want to execute this recorder.shell file, you simply write // and recorder.sh. If you are using Windows,
You have to use recorder.bat in Windows laptop from your command prompt, and that's it.
it will open the recorder. So let's see in Mac, I'm just going to run it. It's saying Gatling home is set to this particular thing, and this is a recorder, guys. It looks like JMeter if you have worked with JMeter. So here you can see that, okay, yeah, this is the listening port, and some other basic information is written. And there are two types of recorder mode in this particular dropdown. One is HTTP proxy and one is HAR converter. So today I'll show you HAR converter. In the next video, I'll tell you what do you mean by HTTP proxy. You can maintain your proxy like 8080 or something like this. So whenever you are recording something from your browser, it will be recorded just like we do it in JMeter. But we have an extra feature available that is called HAR converter. I would prefer this option, HAR converter, to generate the Scala script directly from here. So simple select this HAR converter from here, and it's saying give me your HAR file. So HAR is your HTTP archival file that we have to get it. Okay, we can get it from Firefox, we can get it from Chrome as well. So for that we need to pick one application. So what I'm going to do that I have an application with me. So let's talk about this particular application first, that is automationpractice.com. So in this particular automationpractice.com, what I'm going to do that right click on it and go to inspect. You have to go to the network section under the Chrome DevTools. You clear the entire filter over here and make sure that you have selected preserve log over here. And then you start and make sure that, okay, this is the recording is on in your Chrome DevTools under network tab. And then you simple refresh this particular page. It means we are landing on this particular page over here. So simple refresh it. Okay, after that, let's see, I'm going to search anything over here. So for example, let's say I'm going to search dress, right? And then I'm going to search, let's see, some casual dresses, printed dresses like that. And it will show you something like this, and then click on add to cart. Okay, and let's see, proceed to checkout. And that's it. So let's see, this is the only thing that I have recorded. After that, you will see that some of the network calls being recorded over here. And then there are two options. One is you can see export HAR and import HAR. So I'm going to export this particular HAR file. You simply click on it. And then whatever the name, let's see, automationpractice.har file, under my downloads folder, I'm going to save it. Simple save it over there. Okay, it got saved. Now what I'm going to do that under this particular download folder that HAR file got created, I'll go back to my recorder, and then here I'm going to browse that particular HAR file, that HAR file that I've created. So I'll go to my downloads folder and I'll check that, okay, where exactly, see, this is the automationpractice.com.har file is available. You click on open, and this file got selected over here. And then when you generate the script, what will be the class name? So let's say I'm giving a proper class name. Let's see, this is my automation practice recorder class. You can give a class name over here. If you really want to give a package name, you can give that. I'm not giving any package name. Where exactly you want to store this particular file? I want to store in this particular documents inside my Gatling. A folder, user file simulations folder is available. So I want to store all the recorded classes under this particular simulations folder. And then you click on start. When you click on start, it will tell you that successfully converted HAR file to Gatling simulation, right? And then you simply click on OK. Now what I'm going to do that I simply go to my the folder over here where exactly the Gatling is available. And then under this particular user files, you will see that, okay, this automation practice recorder.scala is available. If you want to open this particular .scala file in Sublime or any notepad file or something like this, you can do that. So let me right click on it and go to, let's see, open with Sublime. And here you will see I'll show you. See, this is the recorder file. This is the script got generated by Gatling in Scala. So this is a Scala script. You don't need to worry about it. If you read it, this is a class that we have given, automation practice recorder, which is extending simulation. And this simulation is actually coming, the simulation is a class which is actually coming from Scala library. And then which URL that you are hitting, automationpractice.com. And then there are a number of header informations are available like that. So you don't need to worry about it. Later on, we will keep updating the headers and all those things. So this is just a record. And then again, we have to execute, play this particular script once again. And then they have created one scenario over here. And then there are a number of requests. You can see that request 1, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, like that. For every JavaScript which are getting loaded, okay, got also recorded. Any JPG file or any ext file or something like this, everything got recorded over here. You can see it like that, right? So there are a number of script. You can see that it got recorded, and then a script got generated like that. And then finally it returned that, okay, setup with one user I want to execute. So this is one thread, user number equal to 1, and then I want to execute with the HTTP protocol. So don't change anything in this particular script, let it be like that. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to execute this particular script once again. So in the previous video, if you remember that, I've already shown you that how to execute a script. So for execute a script, you have to execute gatling.sh, and then it will ask you which simulator you want to execute that. So again, I'll be going to my terminal. From the terminal, I simply press Ctrl+C. Inside my bin folder, you will see that, okay, we have this gatling.sh file. Now I'm going to execute my Gatling runner. So this is called Gatling runner, and this is called recorder. So record it and run it again with gatling.sh file. So simple gatling.sh file. If you're using Windows machine, you have to use gatling.bat file. That I have already told you in my previous video. So I simply write once again, that is gatling.sh. I'm going to execute that. Okay, yeah. So let's see. It is saying Gatling home is set to this particular directory, and it will try to fetch all the simulators which are available in your script under this particular folder. So let's see how many simulators it is showing. See, now these are the sample simulators that we have already seen in the previous video, and this is the simulator that we have created, that automation practice recorder, right, which is available where, which is available under my simulator section over here under this particular user file. So in whatever the simulators are available under your user files that you recently created, which is available over here, it will capture this particular simulator, it will capture this recorded simulator, and all the simulators which are available over here, everything will be captured. And then it will ask you which simulator you want to execute. Just provide the number. So I'm just going to provide the number as 0. It means this is the simulator that we have created, we have recorded. And let's see, this is my test runner I'm writing. This is the description that I have given. You can write any description, and then simulation got started now. See, and you can see that, okay, it's sending all the requests to automationpractice.com, and simulator got started. And for each and every request, it will show you that what happens, the status is okay or not. Okay, like that. And see, all the requests are coming properly. And once everything is done, it will generate a very nice report as well. So this is how we can record. And I'll give you one more advanced example also, but let it generate the test result, the HTML test result. It's a long script because we have reached up to add to cart. It will not launch the browser, guys. Remember this thing. And you can see that, okay, it is giving you a final report like this is a global information that request count, there were 157 request count were there in that particular HAR file. When we converted HAR file to the Scala script, there were 157 requests were there, including JS file and JPG, PNG. A lot of things are coming from the server. So it will calculate, it will take the consideration of everything. That might be possible that because it's a performance testing tool, so we have to consider those factors as well, that on the browser page that all the JPG file, PNG file or JavaScript or JS files are getting loaded or not, and how much time it is taking that. So that's why there are so many requests are available. This is not the API or not purely API performance testing we are doing it. We are doing web plus API together. So right. So here you can see that some minimum response time, maximum response time, we are getting mean and standard deviation and 50th percentile and all those things. That is a matrix that we are getting it over here. And with one single user that we executed that, and this is the kind of report we got it. You can see that report got generated with index.html, or you can see this particular report under this particular result section as well. You can see automationpractice.com that we executed, and the index.html will be generated over here as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do that I just simply copy this particular HTML path, and then I'm going to open in a new tab, and then let's see the report. See the report, guys. Amazing report, right? That is what we actually did one performance test for which application, for automationpractice.com, and these are the requests that they are using it. Later on you can rename these scripts, these requests also later on, but you can see these are the number of requests are available, and if any errors are there it will show you the error section, but right now we don't have any error. And different graphs are generated, like number of requests per second, number of responses per second, then response time percentile over the time, response time distribution, active user along with simulation, and this is the proper detail section for each and every request. You can check it over here like that. So it's a really nice matrix. It is actually getting generated over here. It took around 44 seconds test runner, and today we executed at 7:25. Okay, so this is a very basic scenario, guys, that we have done it. How to record from the Gatling recorder. And then first of all, you have to generate one HAR file. That is a really good option which is available, and then upload that HAR file into Gatling recorder. So actually Gatling recorder is not I would say, let me just go back to the Gatling recorder. Yeah, so Gatling recorder is not actually, you know, a recording directly from the web. So from the network tools, from the dev tools, what exactly we have converted, we have taken the HAR file, and then from there actually we are converting HAR file to Scala with the help of Gatling recorder. This is the option you will be getting in Gatling recorder through HAR. Later on in the next video, you can directly start the recording, just like we do it in JMeter, that you have to give a proxy like localhost 8080, and then whenever you are going to send any request to the localhost 8080 proxy server, Gatling will start recording the sessions. That I'll tell you in the next video. So let's do one thing. Let me just close this guy and then go to terminal and start the recorder once again. And this time let's take some more complex example, a better example to understand this particular concept. So I'll start my recorder once again. So recorder.sh, I'm going to execute once again. So you have to execute this command because the recorder we have already stopped. Recorder is again open, and then go to this HAR converter. And here we have to generate one more HAR file. Let's try with some other application. So I have taken one really good application, guys, so that we will understand it better. This is simple one Parabank application, a dummy application for banking application point of view. I have already created the username password. So what I'm going to do that I'm going to show you one positive scenario and one negative scenario, and in positive scenario how to update the data, how exactly we're updating the data from the Gatling. See this carefully. So this is my username that I have already created. That is one second. Yeah, Naveen Auto is my username, and the password, if you really want to use, you can use that. Otherwise you can create your own username password. Selenium123 is my password. You simply click on login. First I'll tell you manually what exactly the scenario. There are two scenarios. First of all, that you can see that, okay, these are the accounts are available. how many accounts are already there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 accounts are there. In the first scenario, I'm going to tell you that, okay, I'll first record it and then execute it once again from the Gatling, so that instead of through the Gatling, it should add one more account over here. And the second scenario that I'm going to show you, that when you go to your contact information, I'm going to update my contact information. Let's see, my zip code or phone number, I want to update that. I want to update my address, that I can do that through Gatling. So let's first of all start this particular scenario from the beginning. So let me log out. And what I'm going to do, I have to convert one, I have to get one HAR file. So right click on it and go to inspect. You have to go to the DevTools, go to the network section, make sure preserve log is checked over here. And I'm going to enter my username password now. So make sure this recording is on. This is not the Gatling recording. This is your DevTools recording. So I simply write, let's see, Naveen Auto, and my password I'm writing once again, Selenium123, and click on login. So it is generating some network calls, you can see that. And then after that, what I'm going to do, that I have to create one account. So simple click on open new account. And then here I'm, let's see, checking in this, whatever the number is available. So simple click on open new account over here. And it's saying, congratulations, your account is now open. That's it. This is the very basic scenario that we have covered. And stop the recording and then get the HAR file. So export the HAR file and some name I'm giving. Let's see, the name I'm giving, this is aparasoft.com account, something like this .har in my downloads folder, and you simply save it. Okay, when you save it, I'll go to my Gatling recorder, go to browse and select that particular HAR file that you recently created. So this is my .har file that I have created. You click on open and then click on start. It will generate one Scala file under this particular directory, user file simulation, under Gatling folder. So I'll go to my Gatling folder once again over here. That is, you can see that it should be there under user files. And okay, let me check once again. Let me go to documents, go to Gatling, and under user files, it should be there. Okay, it is, one second. Okay, let me just check it once again. Let me click on start once again. Let me override the simulation. User file simulations folder is there actually. Okay, let's go to user files simulations. And yeah, actually we have given the same name, recorder simulation. So let's change the name over here. So I'm going to write, let's see, this is my Parabank accounts, and then you click on start. And then the class name will be created, the file name will be created with Parabank accounts. So now you can see Parabank account.scala file got created. You right click on it and open with Sublime, or you can open with your IntelliJ also. Then I'll show you, this is my notepad file, or you can open it in any notepad or any editor, whatever you want. So see, this is the Parabank soft.com that we created, and these are the header informations are available. So first section are always header, so you don't change anything. Now you can see that it actually recorded my username password. See, my Navi automation, and then Selenium123, my username password, and this is the request. So let's see, I can change the request. Instead of request 0, I simply say that, okay, this is my login request. I just change it to login request, and this is a scenario name, whatever the scenario name that you want to give. After that, let it be the username password. It's actually calling a post call with the form parameters with username password. And after that, all these CSS, JavaScript requests are there. You don't need to change request name. If you really want to change the request name, you can do that. Let's see, this is my logo request. I simply write logo underscore request. That logo.gif file is coming, okay, from the server. And after that, see, this is my get call for accounts. So I simply write, let's see, this is my get account request. So you can write your own request name, because in the report also, in the HTML report, request 20 doesn't look good, request 19 doesn't look good. So better you give a proper name over here so that you can check what exactly the request is all about. And then other HTML file that I don't want to bother about it. If you want, you can remove these sections also, but let it be. We are actually doing the performance testing on the web browser, so better to include all these things. And then they have one more request. Let's see, this is the accounts request. By simple write, let's see, this is my account underscore request for a Parabank. Whatever the name that you want to give, you can give it over here. And again, they are calling the get call like that. And then they are doing a post call. See, this is a create account request. And if you remember that, okay, we have clicked on create account. So this is the API they are actually calling it, where account ID is equal to this, and new account type is equal to 0, something like that. And then we have given the request name is create account post request like that. And then that's it. Okay, just simple save this particular file and then simple close it. Now what I'm going to do, I'll go to my terminal and then start your runner. So how will you start? Gatling.sh. You start your runner and it should pick that particular simulation class that we have already created. We have already generated a Scala file for that. So it should read from this particular folder. And now you can see Parabank account displayed over here. Earlier we have done automation practice recorder. Now this is Parabank account. Now I want to execute this. So simple press 1 because index number is 1 over here and press enter. And I simple write, let's see, this is my test Parabank accounts page. This is the description that I have given. And then the simulation started now for Parabank. Now, earlier, what exactly we were having? We were having 7. Okay, let me just go to the account overview. Right. So we created 7 or 8 accounts were already there. When you simulate it once again from here, it should create one more account, guys. Right? It should create one more account over here. So we should be able to see that, okay, account got created or not. So let's wait till the APIs are getting hit. So yeah, this is done. First, let's see the HTML and let's see over here, and you simple go to account overview page and you can see that, okay, see, account got created 16119. Right? If you will run it again, so let's run it again, and next time it should create one more account after 16119. So let's see it is creating or not. So again, run that particular simulator. So gatling.sh runner, we execute that and select number 1 and run it. And whatever the description you want to write, test runner for Parabank account page. Okay, simulation got started. And then once everything is done, we will refresh that page and we will see that accounts got created or not. So it means accounts got created through the post call, and then it should be updated over here as well. So let's see it is working or not. So let it run the entire request and see whatever request name, guys, that we have given. This is a login request, and then we have given that get account request, then account request Parabank, create account request. Everything is okay, means everything is fine. And yeah, generating the reports. This is the matrix that we are getting it. First, we will cross check in the UI it is reflecting or not through the Gatling. So refresh it. Awesome. See, 16230 got added. We have not added, Gatling added, because through the script, through the Scala script, they have HTTP calls, post call and everything, and then they have created one Para account over here. Right? And now let's see, quickly check the report as well, and simple copy this report and open in a new tab. Awesome. And see, whatever the request that we have renamed, instead of request 0123, it's giving the proper request now, login underscore request, login underscore redirect 1, something like this, get account request para, and create account request. We don't have any error for that. Right? Now I'll show you one negative scenario as well. So in that case, what I'm going to do that I'm going to open this particular Scala file with Sublime, and this time deliberately I'm going to change the username password. Okay, a wrong username password. So this is my Scala file that is getting open, and then I scroll down. I'll go to my section over here, that Naveen Auto and Selenium 123. Instead of 123, I'm giving 1234. It means this is the wrong password, I'm using it. And simple save this file. And you go to terminal and clear the console and run your runner, Gatling runner once again. And we will run that particular simulator class once again, and let's see this time what exactly Gatling does. Because we have passed the wrong username, sorry, correct username, wrong password, Parabank account 1. I don't want to give any description, so simple press enter. Simulation got started, and this time it should give you authentication error like 401. Can you see that? It's giving you found 401 error. So this is the error section, guys. Now it will generate the error section like that. And my login request got failed. You can see after login request, all these are giving 500 server error, 500 internal errors for all these requests, because we could not log in after that, right? So server is giving you 500. And if you see the report as well over here, that login itself, it's saying that request, we have sent the request, but it could not be successful. We are getting a error over here, and you can see all the errors 401. That is called authentication response code we are getting. And here we are, the response time and everything we are getting, and this is the error section. Now let's see the HTML report, how exactly it will be represented inside the HTML report. So let's go to the HTML file. I'll open in a new tab and see the report. You can see that we have 3 requests failed because of login, and you can see that, okay, yeah, global information 28, okay, KO means not okay. 3 requests got failed over here, and this is a 10% a failure result that we are getting it over here like that. And then you scroll down, it will give you the error section. It's saying that we were finding the status, we were expecting the status like that. These are the positive status we were expecting, but we found 401, and after that we found 500. 401 is the authentication error, right? So there are 2 counts for the 401. We could not log in, and then it's giving you the response time and everything, the graph and everything for the failure test over here. And if you go to the detail section, and you can check your detail section over here, that is for all the sections you can check it, that what happened, all the errors and everything it will show. You can check it like that. Okay, so this is how, guys, we can actually check the request, and then we can see what is happening with the request for each and every request in the report. See, for a get account request, we could not execute it. That's why it's giving you the red color, it got failed. It was giving the 500 error over there, right? So this is one of the negative scenario. Now I'll give you one more scenario which is slightly better than last 2 scenarios. What exactly I'm going to do, that you simply go to account overview, right? And then what I'm going to do, that sorry, not account overview, update contact information. We will try to update this information. So let's say I will change my address, city, state and everything, and then let's see how exactly we can update the things. So what I'm going to do, that I'm going to log in once again from parasoft.com. Let me log out first, and let me start from here. Yeah, so right click on it and go to inspect, and go to network calls and preserve log, and this one, right? Okay, now I simply write Naveen Auto and Selenium 123 this time, and click on login, and I'll directly land to my update contact information. You simply scroll down, and this time I'm going to update my information. Let's see, instead of address, I'm writing address 123, city 123, like that, state 123, 901, and this one. So I'm just right now, I'm just recording the HAR file and update the profile. When you update the profile, obviously they are in the backend, they are hitting some service over there, some API over there, and that's it. I'll stop the recording, and then I'll generate the HAR file. My scenario is over. This is why one of the transaction that I have done, one of the scenario that I have done. And you simply click on export HAR, and this time I'm going to select a different HAR. Let's see, this is my contact HAR, contact info or whatever, contact underscore info.har, and simple save it. I'll go to my runner once again. Sorry, I'll go to my recorder once again. So let's open the recorder. So recorder.sh. I'll open that and then I'll upload this particular, first select this HAR converter and giving a name over here, that is my Parabank, and name I'm giving, let's see, contact info recorder. This is the class name that I have given, and like this, an HAR file that I have to select now. So I'll go to my downloads folder, and this is the contact info HAR file that we created. Click on open. HAR file got selected and click on start. HAR file got generated. I'll quickly go to my get link folder, and it's there, contact info recorder. I'll right click on it and open with this Sublime, and I'll open the Sublime text or any text editor, guys, you can use it. And see, this is the parasoft.com. All these are the header information, and this is the different, this is the contact info recorder now. And then again, I'm using my username password. I can give my some proper name of the request. So let's see the proper name of the request here. I'm using the request number 4 instead of request underscore 4. I'm writing this is my login underscore request. After that, enter the username password and download all the zip file, JPG file, and everything that I'm not bothered about it, PNG file and everything. And this is get the account information. So we are going to the get account info page. This is a get call. Okay, that is fine. After that, you simply scroll down, and we should have one more request, which is actually updating the records. So let's scroll down. Somewhere it should be there. So just keep scrolling down, and this is the customer detail. So I'll simple, this is my customer info request. Okay, it is there. We go to the customer, and then still we are not updating. See, this is actual result over here, actual request over here, not result, sorry, where I'm updating. So I'm calling one post call to update the record. So they're not using put call, they're using post call to update with this particular service URL. And first name is equal to Naveen, last name is equal to K. So I simply update the records over here, and the same record, when I run this script, it should be updated in Parasoft, and when I see in my web, I should get the latest records. So I simply write name equal to last name is equal to automation. Let's say I'm writing automation. Street is equal to this. Instead of this, I'll writing, let's say street is equal to Bangalore, and again I'm writing city is also Bangalore, and state I'm writing, let's see, Karnataka. Zip code I'm writing, let's say some random zip code I'm writing 98889, and the phone number I'm changing to, let's see, 505050, like that. And SSN number, username, password, everything will remain same. I can update and username, I can update my username password as well. So these are the requests that I'm going to send, and changing the request name as let's see, this is my update contact info. Okay, and you simple save this particular file, save it, and we will go to the runner once again. So press Ctrl C, open the runner, getlink.sh, and let's see that it is picking this particular simulator class or not. Okay, so, and once again, what I'm going to do that, first of all, I'll go to my UI as well. I'll go to my contact information page. Okay, right now you see that, okay, whatever the previous data is available over here. So when I run my script through Gatling and then I'll refresh my page, it should display the updated records, whatever the new record that we have given from here. So let's see, it is picking that particular, yeah. So it's saying that yes, you have this recorder available, point number 2. So I simply write number 2 index and run it. And let's see, this is my update contact information, and yeah, simulator got started. Okay, so oops, it's saying 401. Okay, let it be like that. Let it execute first, and then we will see what kind of are we getting the updated records or not. Okay, I think this is done now, and let's see it got updated or not. So let me refresh it. Awesome. Can you see that my data got updated here, guys? Naveen, automation, Bangalore, city, Karnataka, whatever new zip code, phone number, whatever I have added, it got updated. This is really, really awesome, right? Like that. And you will see the report here. So copy this report and open that. We got one failure. Maybe we need to check why we got one failure for one request. For which request we have to check that, we can check it later. But whatever the login request is absolutely working fine. It's not giving any error over here, right? And get account information also, it's giving, yeah, get account information actually getting failed. That is not a problem, because maybe account information having some problem. But if you see the customer information request, which is working fine, and then we will go to the update contact information, which is one request got updated over here, which is absolutely working fine without any problem, right? That's it. If you really want to change it once again, so let's see, I'll write, instead of now Bangalore, I'll be writing, let's see, I'm writing Pune, or let's say I'm writing New York, or let it be Pune only. Let's see, Pune, and I'm writing state as Maharashtra, something like this. Let's see, I'm writing, and then save it and run it again. So run your gatling.sh file and run that simulator once again. I'll come over here just to check that, okay, refresh it. Still it's showing Bangalore only, and once your script is done, and then we will see it again. So this is my script number 2. Run it. So it's picking the recorder. Simulation got started for that particular recorder, and once entire execution is done, we will refresh this page, and it should be, city should be Pune, and state should be Maharashtra. So let's wait for a few seconds. And guys, everything we are running only with one single user. Okay, so yeah, it got updated, everything is fine. And let's see, refresh this page, it should show you Pune and Maharashtra. See this. This is really, really awesome, don't you think so, right? And so easy to maintain that, so easy to manage that. So you can, it's much better, as in fact much simpler than I would say, as compared to JMeter. Sorry. So this is, guys, what you have to do that. So I have given you multiple scenarios: positive, negative, update, post, get, and all those things. I have given you the, okay, from the web, from the HAR file. In the next session, I'll tell you that how will you record it directly from the recorder, and then how will you generate the Scala file, and then you run it. And then we will start actual scripting part later on. The actual scripting part, we have to open the IntelliJ, we have to write our own script. So for these things, for small requests, you can do that. You can quickly create one, generate the HAR and create your framework for one or two or couple of scenarios. If you have that on your web application, on your web browser, you can easily do that. And you can increase the load, and then simple increase the load, instead of one user write 1000 or 100 or whatever, you can do that. This is number of users you want to execute with this. Okay, and there are some other configurations also available, and then I'll show you later. But please practice, please do that. This is something very, very interesting. And the documentation is, I mean, you will not find that level of documentation. So please follow each and every step that exactly I'm following it. Let me know if you have any issues. Please subscribe to the channel, guys. There are a lot of good things are coming with respect to Gatling, and a lot of new things are coming in future. And till then, take care. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye, guys.